Do you know what is a complete waste of time? Searching Google for the same answer every single time you need a code snippet. Especially when the answer is a couple of pages deep into the Google search result, or if you have to go through a few Stack Overflow questions to find it. Introducing the second brain. This concept was introduced by a guy named Tiago Forte, who has developed a very complex process and sells a really expensive course around it. But all in all, the idea is that you shouldn't go hunting every time you want to eat. For example, when you want to create something, a video, a course, a blog post, a software, a project, or whatnot, you shouldn't go to Google to get the same answers over and over again. You shouldn't go to the documentation to get the same answers over and over again. You shouldn't go to Stack Overflow or to old GitHub repos to get some code or a snippet that you might need. But that you should have something like an archive, a place where you have captured all kinds of ideas, thoughts, code snippets, articles read, all the bits and pieces of tutorials, maybe pieces of documentation, projects done, and so on and so forth. Basically, it's like having your very own Wikipedia that will let you capture ideas and content very easily and will let you search for them and find them very easy as well. And this kind of system is really good for software developers, content creators, bloggers, YouTubers, authors, and whatnot. Actually, it's really good for any kind of knowledge worker. And if you are a software developer, you are a knowledge worker as well, if you didn't know it. But there are two problems that I find with this system. The first one is that the course which explains it, it's extremely expensive. I think it goes from like $1,500 to $6,000 or $7,000. The other one is that the system is really complex and you can get lost in trying to get it perfect. So you won't get it perfect and you won't get any of the benefits. Or it may be my ignorance talking here, but anyway. I want to develop an 80-20 kind of system based on the second brain. And I did it in Notion. Notion is the app that I use for my notes for this YouTube channel and for a lot of stuff that I do. So I have developed a simple, emphasis on the simple, Notion template that you can use too. My main requirement for it was to be as simple as possible. So if you are a Notion expert or you are Thomas Frank watching this video, you might as well laugh at the ignorant peasant that I am. But here it is, introducing the software developer second brain. I know it might be a bit underwhelming because it's not filled with information yet. By the way, if you want this template, you can get it free. I put a link in the description below where you can get it. So here is the Notion template. Here we have a table, but at a later point, I'll show you how you can change this view. As you can see, as of now, we have three types of metadata. So the first one is the programming language, which of course is a stretch, because here we aren't really covering only programming language, but also frameworks and every kind of stuff. So if I were to add a new node, I would put here the technology that this node is referring to. So let me just add a new node here. And let's say this is about Laravel. Then I will have to add the type, which may be a code snippet, maybe an article, a video, a Stack Overflow answer, or maybe a Q&A. Maybe you have a question that is unanswered and you finally find an answer for it and you will put it here. So let's say this is an article. Then if you want, you can add a project. For example, I have here a to-do list app and a WordPress website. For the sake of simplicity, let's just stick to the to-do list app. The reason for the project metadata here is that if you find some information, maybe you aren't really researching right now for that project specifically, you can input it here with the project that you are working on, and it will be easier to find at a later time when you will actually be needing this information, when you will be working on this project. If you want to add new properties, you can click here, you can add a lot of new properties in Notion, but this is beyond the scope of this video. Then I have already created a couple of templates like a code snippet, an article, Stack Overflow, answer, video, Q&A, and maybe you want an empty template. So for this one, let's stick to article. This is a new node, and I have already pre-populated every kind of template with the data that you might need. Obviously, you can add more to it. So let's say this is a Laravel API development tutorial. I'm not gonna bother writing the description again. And then here we can put the URL for the article, and then we can close this page. Now, if we go here, you can see that we have a see all button. If we click on it, we have multiple views. For example, I have created a by project view. Here you can see every node related to each project. If there is no project, it will be put here. For example, this one has no project. Or maybe you can go and check them by type. We have article here, we have code snippet, we have description, videos, and no type, but this shouldn't be the case. The nice thing about Notion, for example, is that if we want to add a new code snippet, if we click on new, it will automatically pick the code snippet template. So the type is already pre-populated here. We can pick a code snippet for WordPress, a random snippet, and then obviously we want to pick the template from here. Here is how the code snippet template looks. Maybe let's say this is PHP code. You can format it if you want. Notion lets you do this. And here you would put like a short description or long description if you want about the code snippet. Maybe the original URL if you actually got it from somewhere else. And here you have a view with all your notes by type, and then you can have all our notes by programming language or by tech stack. And I think I'm going to rename this. And this one. Okay, it's better now. We have JavaScript snippets. We actually don't have PHP snippets. We have React snippets, we have WordPress snippets, we have Laravel snippets, and so on and so forth. Or we can go to simply to see all snippets, and here we have like a full database table with all of them. But we may not want to search one by one through each and every one to get a specific note that we might want. Let's say we want to check something specific to React. Here we have the React crash course that we have saved earlier. Or maybe we want to check something related to APIs. So we have the Laravel API documentation or article or whatever it is. One thing that is really important here is that you should name the nodes as search friendly as possible. You will have an easier time searching for them afterwards. But this has been only the simple search. If you go here and quick find, you can search for something that is not really in the title. For example, blog here will reference to add a new user role in WordPress, and it will reference the text from the content of the node. For example, this one here, and it will, if we click on it, it will open, obviously. So this is a really simple, a dead simple and dumbed down example of what you can do with Second Brain. Obviously, you can build upon this, and in the future, I will build upon this. But if you want to use this template yourself, there's a link in the description where you can get it totally for free. Anyway, if you have found this video useful and enjoyed it, would you please hit the like button and subscribe in order to see more videos like this one. So if you want more information about how to escape tutorial hell, please check this video right here where I talk about in more depth about how you can break free from tutorials. See you next time.